Lesson 3.2, Getting Connected. So we keep on working on the communication topic, and this time we're looking at the future for predictions. So you will see how different it is from the future for plans. We are going to use future time markers, and we're going in the functions field try to make predictions, which is totally connected to the type of grammar that we are going to look at. So first you've got a listening activity here. It says look at the photos and answer the questions. What has replaced the objects in the pictures? In your opinion, are the replacement better than the original things? These are more questions for the classroom. You've got here, for instance, the mobile phone, or this is being replaced by the MP3 player. The TV has been replaced pretty much by the internet in many cases, etc. So this is a discussion topic we can take it, we can use in class. Then the real activity is here in 3.3. This is activity 2b. It says listen to some people discussing the questions above. Do they mention any of your ideas? Well, there's nothing really to answer in the platform about that, but for 2c it says find and correct 3 factual mistakes in the notes. These are the notes, okay, the notes that somebody has taken after listening to the discussions, and there are 3 mistakes, and these are factual mistakes, not mistakes in the form or in the language or in the grammar. The platform you will find a fill in the gap activity in which you will have to change the wrong information for the correct one. Next, in activity 3, you've got all these phrases or expressions. An intermediary, will stop barriers, thumbprints, retina scans, the most straightforward way to do something on demand, a large screen, a method of delivery. It's a very good idea to check those on the internet if you don't know their meaning. Next, we've got vocabulary, future time markers. Activity 4a says read sentences 1 to 9 and underline the time marker. Instead of underlining the marker in the platform, you will type it in the gap. So you will type in the near future for the first one, or in the next 10 years and the second one. Don't use any punctuation, just this, in the next 10 years. Okay, and you need to find a time marker here and in every one of the rest of the sentences in this activity. The next activity says look at the time markers and put them under the correct heading. Okay, an exact time in the future is one of the headings, not an exact time in the future but soon is another heading, and not an exact time in the future but not very soon is the third one. So what I have done is put it in different perspective, and I've written the expressions, and you have to write the number of the heading. So this is what it looks like. You've got the time markers here, and you've got to write 1, 2, or 3 in each of these 3 gaps. Okay, so we move on to page 36. You've got grammar, the future for predictions. First activity is 5a, says read a preview of a program. What is a program about? Visions of the future. Okay, what is a program about? And then you've got a fill in the gap activity. It's about the of the So you just need 2 words in the platform. Next, you've got the second part, says read some of the predictions from the BBC program. Are they certain or possible? And you're going to have to write the letter C or the letter P. The first one is done for you. Artificial intelligence will revolutionize homes, workplaces, and lifestyles. You see how they use the simple future for predictions here. So you write C because it's certain for with this will. So now we've got to try to find out the rules, okay? Completing with will, with could, to, or be. Okay, the first one has been done for you. We will use will plus infinitive to make a prediction about the future. Like in 10 years' time, there will be no land phones. Okay, no phones at home, but just mobile phones. That could be my prediction. You use will plus infinitive. So that means that you use the simple future. You're going to have to fill in the gaps for the rest here and check in the platform. Next, we'll go to page 132 for the language bank explanation. We'll look at the chart for lesson 3.2 here. And here it will explain the future for predictions. The use of will, making predictions for which you are somehow sure. Okay? It says you can even introduce them by using I think, or I hope that this will happen. Then you've got be going to, and there is a slight difference here. It says when there is, so you make a prediction when there is the present evidence. Okay, we only have 2 cars. This is the evidence. It's going to be difficult to take 11 people tomorrow. Sometimes the evidence is not written or said, it's simply implicit in the context, so be careful. We can use also probably to make the prediction less certain, so they will probably get stronger. So you are using this one, but you are making it less strong by using probably. Okay. Be careful with the order when there is the word to be. E-readers are probably, so after the verb, but here between the will and the verb. Okay. Then you've got may and might. Okay, there you use those for making predictions which are certainly less certain. The negative forms are may not and might not, and that's it. I mean, is there any big difference between those two? I could say that might is even less certain than may. And then we could use could to make a prediction that is less certain. This is very similar to may, but it's more like an option. Global warming could destroy or may destroy. There is no real big difference between could and may or even might. Okay, and here there is one that students have a lot of trouble with because of the structure. Look, Regina is likely to be late. We are unlikely to, so we've got the verb in infinitive here, and you've got the verb to be. You are likely to be late. Okay? There is no translation for this in Spanish that is literal, and it's possible. Okay? So this is like saying she'll probably be late, or we won't probably reach Paris. Or are you likely to be hungry later? That's like, will you be hungry later? Okay. So this is like, is there any possibility that you'll be whatever? Okay. And then they make the difference between might, saying that is more common than may in spoken English, and may is a little bit more formal. Okay. Well, there is that as well. So next, we go to the second or the right hand side and do these 2 activities. One is rewrite the sentences using the words in brackets. Okay, you've got might in brackets, and the sentences, we probably won't win the cup this year. And the sentence could be, we might not win the cup this year. Be careful because the final or the full stop here is given to you, but in number 8 the punctuation is a question mark that you need at the end, and it's not given, okay, because this is not correct. A question mark and then a full stop. So I've taken that out. You don't need to use punctuation except for the question mark here in number 8. Then in the second one, it says put the pairs of words, so there are couples of words here in the box, into the correct place to complete the sentences. I've given you the parts of the sentence. For instance, the first one is Jenny, and then you've got to write something here like might not. Here's might not be able to meet us tonight because she has to work late. So I'm giving you part of the activity done. You just have to use those two words in the gaps. Next, you've got exercise 6a. This is very simple. You've got to choose the best alternative or the correct alternative from the ones given here. Okay, so you're going to write the letter A, B, or C without brackets, just the letter. So we move on to activity 8a. It says, read the definition of an idiom. So this is a typical expression, and underline the idioms in sentences 1 to 5. Be careful because a lot of people think that idiom is language, and it's not. That's a false friend. An idiom is an expression. For instance, in the future, mobile phones will only be used for small talk or for taking photos. So small talk, it's a combination of words that doesn't mean small and talk altogether. Small talk, it's like unimportant things or conversations that are not really very relevant. Okay, it's just like talking about unimportant things in general. So when you spot the expression or the idiom here, then you type it in the platform. That's the idea. Then there is a true or false activity. It says look at the underlined idioms or the idioms that you found and decide if these are true or false. You're going to write F for false or T for true. Okay, idioms are usually formal. That's false, so you type F. Okay, that's the idea. Then we'll move to activity number 9. This is work in pairs. Look at the idioms organized by topic. What do the underlined idioms mean? In hot water, it means in trouble. To put my foot in it means to say something embarrassing that gets you into trouble. So this is a solution. I'm giving it to you so that you don't waste time. Number 3, we are working against the clock. That means needing to finish something in a short time. And number 4, I'm sure we can win this match, but we are running out of time. So that means not having enough time to finish something. In activity number 11a, next, it says rewrite the whole sentences. Okay, so like number 2 says, which student do you think is a horse dark? There is a mistake. It's a dark horse. That's the idiom. Okay, so you need to rewrite the whole thing. Which student do you think is a dark horse? Question mark. We'll do vocabulary bank on page 150. Here we look at the idioms activity. There are 2 parts. Part A says match the pictures A to F with the idioms in the box. The first one, A, is to break the ice. Okay, you just write break the ice. And then in the second part, you have to complete